Alrighty guys, we're back for some Behemoth Domain, and this is a Brothers War standard brew. We're gonna go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, for anyone who may not know, I'm Redcat and I play aggro decks and any decks with red in them as well, so I hope that sounds fun to you. Also, we do get that Discord link down in the description if you're interested in joining that up. Okay, what do we got in the build here? It was actually a suggestion over in the Discord to try to make Behemoth work, so that's what we're doing. We got a couple of them in here. 5 mana, 2/7, you may play lands from your graveyard, and then it has an Unearth for double green. It's a pretty cool card, guys, and we're going to have a ton of ways to get lands into our graveyard in here, which sounds awesome, huh? So what else do we got in here? We got 3 Laydown Arms. Honestly, I think it's going to be pretty good. I think there's going to be a lot of great ways to actually just have planes on the board. So I think it's going to be solid early game removal. We have 3 Fateful Absence. Just reliable removal is very important. We have a couple Bitter Reunions, a card that we don't see too much for some reason. 2 mana enchantment. Bitter Reunion enters the battlefield. You may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. Okay. And then for 1 mana, you can sacrifice it. Creatures you control gain haste until end of turn. It's a pretty solid one. It's going to be great in here. You can send like mana that you don't need early on, draw 2 cards, and then eventually play that mana from the grave with the Behemoth, which sounds cool. I have a couple Courier's Briefcase. While we don't have any cards in here that require black mana, except for the Briefcase ability, of course, we are more than capable of having all 5 mana colors on the board. So drawing 3 cards with this is not going to be unheard of, but also just early ramp is pretty important sometimes. We have 4 Fable of the Mirror Breakers. No one's surprised, right? That second ability is going to be great in here. Being able to send those land, like I said, but also we can send cards like Greenwidow, which with that domain we can eventually just bring back from the grave, which sounds pretty awesome. And overall, a 3 mana 4/3 with Reach and Trample is just pretty good stats, isn't it? Okay, our board wipe of the deck, we got 4 Depopulates here. We needed some kind of board wipe, and I didn't want the mana to be too greedy, so I didn't want to play the domain board wipe necessarily because we didn't have any other black sources in here. So we're trying out the Depopulate. I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be solid. Let's be real, huh? We got 4 Sphinx of the Clear Skies. This is a 5 mana 5/5 flying ward 2 with a domain here. When Sphinx of the Clear Skies deals combat damage to a player, reveal the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of basic land types among lands you control. An opponent separates those cards into 2 piles. You put 1 pile into your hand and the other into the graveyard. So another way to get lands into the grave, or Greenwidow into the grave, stuff like that, right? Even just sending the Behemoth to the grave is fine too. Eventually you can unearth it, use its ability, maybe get a swing in as well, which sounds awesome. Yeah, Sphinx of the Clear Skies is definitely going to be an MVP. The last time we played with this, it was incredible. And then doing something like copying it with Reflection of Kiki Jiki just rounds up games easily. On the top end here, we have 4 Leyline Bindings, which we're looking at probably between a 2-drop and a 3-drop, honestly. I'd say at its worst, it's probably going to be a 3-drop. I really doubt it's ever going to be 4, but probably between 2 and 3. So it's just a very powerful piece of removal in the deck. And then Herd Migration also has that channel ability that isn't called a channel at all. So it's a 7 mana card with domain. Create a 3/3 green beast creature token for each basic land type among lands you control. So that's a pretty sweet card to ramp up into. So that's a good reason to actually be playing those lands back from your grave with the Behemoth to get up to that 7 mana and eventually just play out that Herd Migration or do multiple things in the same turn, right? Like it could be pretty good to play a Sphinx of the Clear Skies and a Greenwidow or like a Fable on the same turn when you have 8 mana. So there are good reasons to ramp with the Behemoth in here, right? Yeah, Herd Migration is one of the ways we're going to win with the beasts, right? But then also for 1 and a green, you can discard it, search your library for a basic land card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. You gain 3 life, which is pretty powerful, huh? So we have a bunch of basic lands over here, 4 plains, 2 islands, single swamp, 2 mountains, 2 forests. Yeah, the swamp is only in here to be able to grab off of cards like Herd Migration. And then also, of course, Briefcase too, right? Now we do have a couple Raffine's Towers, 3 Jetmir's Gardens, 3 Spara's Headquarters, because the Triomes are very, very good in domain decks, huh? But also we have 3 Brokers Hideout, 3 Cabaretti Courtyards, and a single Riveteers Overlook. So these are great ways to gain life when you have a lot of them like this, but also since they sacrifice themselves, you are able to cast them back from the grave with the Behemoth, grab more of your basic lands so you're thinning out your deck, which is awesome, and then gain more life off of them as well. So pretty cool, guys. Pretty cool. I don't think we're going to have any issues with the mana, but we'll see. I'm surprised sometimes at how poorly we can draw mana. Honorable mentions, guys. Phyrexian Dragon Engine was a card I really considered for in here. Weatherseed Treaty, obviously. Farewell was a card I thought about, but I think we'll be fine with our Depopulates, hopefully. Sanctuary Warden, Titan of Industry. I was kind of just thinking like maybe we need more things on the very top end, like more reasons to ramp with Behemoth, but I think we'll be fine with the Sphinx and the Herd Migration. Xander's Lounge and Zeator's Proving Ground, just maybe consider one of each of the other Triomes too, since it is a domain build, but I couldn't find room for it this time, and if you do end up adding these, then you're taking out some of the basic lands, which could really be a problem when you have this many of the sacrifice lands here and the herd migration, right? So, okay, guys, I think that's everything. It's a pretty basic one. We're removing everything the opponent has. We're using those domain abilities. Then we're winning with herd migration or Sphinx of the Clear Skies. So, yeah, let's go ahead, take it into some ranked and see how we do. Okay, we'll see if we can get right into that first match. Waiting for opponent. Heck yeah, we do. Oh, man. If you guys are wondering why the deck name has like a little, it has like a D in it, that was a reminder to mention that this was a Discord suggestion. Okay, we'll try it. We do go first here. I'm going to start with the garden because I don't mind drawing more land. So we don't necessarily want to thin with Brokers Hideout yet. And now we do. Let's grab a Plains. Even though a blue source would be good too. I want to make sure I have the double white on time. Then we do have the red in the garden for the Fable of the Mirrorbreaker. Well, Fable might not hit, so we could save the herd migration for their turn and just find more land to play next turn. Now we'll try it. Oh, nice. Okay. See, sometimes the make disappear isn't in the opponent's hand, so you're just playing around a ghost. Lay down arms. I'll take the life, thank you. So I don't think 2 behemoths in our opening hand here is that great. And I don't think Lay Down Arms is going to do too much against this deck. Well, it might, but we do have like Leyline Binding too. Let's see if we can find something here. There we go. There we go. Yeah, this is fine. We get our blue source down. So our domain is maxed out already, which is awesome. Something I forgot to mention with the Behemoth is, yeah, the cycling on the Raffine's Tower. Also, that's something else I forgot to add in the honorable mentions too, honestly. Okay, we're gonna grab more land. Let's go for the blue source. We need double blue. No, we have the... Yeah, we'll still grab a blue source, that's fine. Yeah, we have the Spara's headquarters and the Raffine's Tower, but another island is not gonna hurt anything. Okay, more land. Could get Behemoth #1, but yeah, the legendary lands from Neon Dynasty is a thing to think about too with their abilities, because you can eventually play them back, but we really need the basic land in this deck, so... Alright, I'm going to try to get Behemoth down this turn. I'm feeling like this is going to be a Wandering Emperor, so I feel like Behemoth lands. Nice, nice. Memory Deluge. Opponent, let me keep the Behemoth for a turn. Let me play one land back with it, please. I really want to play a land back with it for the first game. If we were up against aggro too, or something like that, Behemoth is such a cool blocker. It's too bad it doesn't have reach or something. Okay, we can play the Hideout from the grave. Let's do it. I'd like to get Raffine's tower down too, but this is all I wanted today, so we're doing it. Let's grab a green source. Doesn't really matter. We have another Brokers Hideout in hand. We have like the Raffine's tower as well. I guess we could cycle the tower if we need to. The Wandering Emperor is a pain. So I don't want them to Wandering Emperor our Reflection, so I'd rather get the damage through with the copy. And then let them exile the Behemoth instead. Nope, they're actually going to take 2 here. Okay. I mean, Leyline Binding has Flash. I have no idea what the opponent's playing, other than just control. Oh, the Spara's headquarters tells me it's probably the life gain control, which means Farewell exists in that deck. Yeah, the Union of the Third Path deck. I bet that's what this is. I bet that's what this is. Assin, huh? Alright, let's cycle the Raffine's tower. Woo, that's what we like to see. That's what we like to see. Oh my goodness. So Broker's Hideout can help us thin the deck even further. Have the one in hand too. There's so much to play here. Let's go for the Raffine's tower this turn. And we'll attempt Sphinx of the Clear Skies #1, and then we'll try to copy it. I have a feeling it's not going to land, but at least we have another one in hand. Yeah, 6 mana over there for the opponent, and a ton of cards in hand. Oh, wow. While Leyline Binding we could keep open, but I got to try the copy. Man. It's got to be a Wandering Emperor then, right? Oh my goodness, guys. What on earth is going on here? They're down to 9. I guess maybe the Farewell will hit next turn? Kind of in a pretty good position here. If they do end up farewelling, like, we can always just play our second Sphinx, which is awesome. Oh! They don't want us to have Fable. I like Bitter Reunion because it could give the second Sphinx haste if they do end up. Alright, we'll take the big pile because of the Bitter Reunion. I think that's better. We have to discard 2 cards, so we'll just discard some land. Cycle a tower, sure. Riveteers Overlook, it's fine. We'll ditch that. We'll ditch this. So we don't need it. We have headquarters. We already have the plains here. I'd rather have like a emergency untapped source if we need to have more mana on our turn. Woo! I thought the deck was going to be relatively easy to play, but actually, even though the opponent hasn't done too much, there's been a lot of decisions. So there's the Farewell that we were anticipating. We'll have the untapped source. We have red out there. We do have red. So go Sphinx. Plains. Bitter Reunion. Let's ditch the... I mean, the headquarters isn't doing too much, and the laydown arms might actually be decent. when they actually like start getting their tokens from the Teferi and stuff. So the double Depopulate isn't that great either. The headquarters. It's the headquarters. Another binding, that's good. Okay, let's see what we draw from this Sphinx, huh? Woo! That's fun. That's fun. We have so much removal and the opponent's not playing creatures, guys. Fateful Absence. Okay, we'll grab the Fable. We'll grab the Fable. Yeah, that's probably much better. And we will discard... I'll keep the mountain. We'll discard the plains here. I'll tell you what, man. Keeping our hands stocked with cards is awesome. Sphinx of the Clear Skies is so powerful. Man, they go for a farewell just to... wait, what ended up happening there? Wait, they ended up conceding too. Wait, now I'm confused. Did they accidentally not hit exile all creatures? See, the ward 2. What ended up happening there, guys? Somebody let me know down in the comments. I feel like we got a little lucky. I'm surprised the first Sphinx even hit the board, right? No counter spells. I know the Union of the Third Path decks run like Dissipate and stuff, so did they misclick and miss the exile all creatures? But like it made like a weird... I don't know what happened. I'm a little bit confused. I gotta be real with you. Let's just get right into the next match. I mean... I'm definitely happy with the victory, so... right into the second game. Let's go. Hey, guys, we have a 2023 sub goal. It is set all the way up at 5,000. So if you want to help us reach that goal, then consider subscribing. It is much appreciated, friends. We have all year to reach that goal. Okay. We have 26 land total in the deck. I am confident that we will be able to draw some land here. Confident, guys. And of course the Overlook is the only one of these sacrifice lands that doesn't give us a plains too, so it's a little concerning, but we'll be fine. Probably end up grabbing... We might want to grab the swamp with it, honestly. Herd Migration, that is... completely fine if we don't see a land and we have to go herd migration. You could always grab the swamp with the herd migration too, but this is fine. That's why we're rocking the one swamp, to get as much domain early on as possible. Bank Buster and no land. Okay, we should probably grab it on our turn to play it on our turn, just in case we top deck another one next turn. That way we can actually be on time. Problem here is we are thinning out the deck when we do this too. Grab our second white source. Yeah, every land we take out, we're thinning that deck, so... Wedding announcement. Eee. This might be a very different game here. Nice, we found another Jetmir's Garden, which is really good. We could lay down arms, not worth it. Yeah, Fable, let's do it. We have so much removal in our hand, guys, and we're going up against decks that, I mean, it looks like the Depopulate's going to come in handy for a deck like this, but it's probably going to be a Wandering Emperor. Alright, we have all 3 of our laydown arms, so we could send one of those. The Fateful Absence? Let's see. I like the Fateful Absence more. I'll just keep 1 laydown arms for now. It's easy to hit the tokens, but I don't entirely... Alright, I'll keep 2 of them. No, just in case. We don't entirely know what the opponent's deck is running. Leyline Binding, okay. We get our 5th mana with the swing here. We grab a blue source with the herd migration. They probably double block if it's not an Emperor. If it is just a double block, we could Leyline Binding to save the token. Is that worth it? Not really. Probably just a Fateful Absence would be better to save our 2/2. Even then, it's not completely safe, but what else are we going to do here? Like, Leyline Binding can still hit the wedding announcement next turn if we want to, or we have the Herd Migration, grab a blue source. There's a lot of options, and I think keeping our 2/2 on this board is better. And getting rid of both of their tokens too, so... yeah, I think that's pretty good. We'll keep these open. Okay. Reckoner Bankbuster draws them a card, and they can draw with the clue, too. They're gonna draw with that clue. Opponent's hand is nice and full with 8 cards. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. One of the reasons we have a ton of removal in here, guys, is mono red, and then of course the soldier builds too, so hopefully we see one of those today as well. That way we can actually see our removal do a thing. Do we want to hit that wedding announcement? Nah, let's go... wait, remove the stop. Let's get to their end step here. Alright, that's fine. We'll put it on the stack here. Let's grab our blue source. And our domain is complete. So I wonder if they end up... second Depopulate could be okay. Really depends what style of deck they're running. It could just be Esper Control rocking the wedding announcement. Could lay down arms, get a swing. We do this way to keep our token on the board for an extra turn, because if they don't remove this token, then we are ramping really well with it. And if we top deck like a Herd Migration or something, those extra tokens are excellent. While it does give them that 3 life, I think that is completely fine. Yeah, we're ramping really, really well with it. Okay, we just keep everything open. Draw with the Bank Buster. Leyline Binding is kind of ridiculous, guys. The fact that that is 1 mana. Something we could have done there when they only had 1 mana, we could have taken the other Bank Busters so they couldn't draw too much with it, but I don't know, man. I like having the Leyline Binding here. Like, it's target non-land permanent too, so... yep, take care of Reflection before we copy it and ramp even further. We do get a draw with that clue. They're keeping it all open, huh? Okay. Courtyard's fine. Helps us thin even further. Greenwidow. Excellent. Very good. Alright, let's thin this deck even further. Let's grab a green source. Should be fine. Okay, we'll start with a swing. See if that Wandering Emperor finally hits this table. I wonder if it's worth the Leyline Binding on the Emperor. A deck like this might have enchantment removal is the problem. So a Fateful Absence might be better. Okay, they go for the -1. So that's a 3/3. We could still pick up the Wedding Festivity and have it be an equal trade and still have the Fateful Absence open. Could also just take the Samurai too. That way Binding isn't holding anything. But I'd rather... tough decisions, guys. We could just Fateful Absence too. I like having the Fateful Absence for the Emperor. Yeah, we don't want them to get tokens every turn again from that, but I kind of like it this way. Do we still just Fateful Absence right now to get rid of the Emperor? Probably. We should probably. Before they have like a counter spell or something, they'll get a clue. They have a bunch of ways to draw. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Not sure if that was the most efficient turn. It really depends what else they have in their deck too, because yeah, Farewell would be awful, because then they get the wedding festivity back and it starts producing for them again. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I guess right on time? No, a turn later. The Depopulate's fine though. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Alright, we're thinning out this deck even further. Let's grab another white source. We'll see how wide they can go before the Depopulates hit, but at this point, it's leaning towards the opponent for sure. They have a ton of cards in hand, a ton of ways to get more cards in hand. Oh, Liliana's going to start discarding. Crap. That's not good. Woo, the opponent's deck looks really good. But also, I didn't have to grab the wedding festivity with the Leyline Binding. There was a bunch of other ways to do that turn. So, like, the wedding festivity would at least be gone if I didn't do it that way, right? So if we don't play everything now, they're just going to have us discard, because why not? The old Liliana lockdown is a real thing, so let's just play everything. They're still going to have us sacrifice our 2/2, though, either way. Sacrifice the 2/2 or lose the Depopulate. Alright. I think Liliana might actually be the nail in the coffin here, kind of forcing us to play stuff out. Regardless, they're going to -2, have us lose the 2/2, but at least we get to filter through whatever card we get next turn, which might be good enough. Bankbuster might be a good addition to this build, guys. Something to consider, at least as a one-of. Bankbuster's rough, dude, and whenever you're up against a control or mid-range, trying to keep up with their card draw is very important, and in this deck, the Sphinx is supposed to help us do that, but, you know, Sphinx is 5 mana. So Farewell's brutal, guys. Farewell is such a brutal card. Okay, Wandering Emperor number 2. So something to be said about just keeping our Fateful Absence back and not hitting that Emperor that turn, or using the Fateful Absence on the 3/3 and saving the Leyline Binding back. That, like, there were so many ways to actually do that turn that could have been potentially better. This is one that I'll probably have to go back, watch the video, and see. Okay, get rid of the land, right? See if we can find something good here. We can cycle that, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Another land. Woo, buddy. 3 land in a row. Now, to be fair, we do have 26 land in here, but we've filtered through a ton of it already. With the Courtyard, the Overlook, we also grabbed one with the Migration as well, so yeah, this isn't looking too great, huh? The honorable mentions, I did put the Farewell in the honorable mentions, right? This is a perfect example. Against this deck, though, you can tell that they're rocking the Planeswalkers because of the Farewell, so they might have, you know, 3 to 4 of these in their build, and then just a bunch of Planeswalkers, right? Like, the new Teferi would help them close out a game for sure. With those tokens, right? 3rd Bankbuster hits, and it's looking like the opponent's going to be able to win the game next turn at this rate. Because we're at 14, and Wedding Festivity buffs all their Bankbusters, and there's a counter on here, and they can get another counter from the Emperor next turn. So I would be shocked if they don't have removal. Ooh, Briefcase is really good, guys. Like, Briefcase is really, really good. I'm just going to do it now. Because we might find more to get more onto this table, and we might... Ooh, there's the Sphinx. Okay. We might be able to survive the turn, and if we can get Sphinx onto the table, No, I really doubt it. I think this is leaning towards the opponent, but yeah, Briefcase was just a terrific draw. Another way to try to keep up with the card draw from these control and mid-range builds. Oh, I just now saw that they have all 4 Bankbusters on the board. Hey, Bankbuster is good enough to have 4 of in a deck like that. So, okay, removal number 1. Okay. Removal number 2. Oh yeah, the Liliana -2. And then power up the Bankbusters and swing. Also plus the Wandering Emperor, right? Or play another creature from hand, too. That would be capable of powering up the Bankbuster. Either way, I believe they have the 14 damage here, so we might as well cycle out the Raffine's Tower just to see what's on top of the deck, too. Yeah, that's 11 damage right there. Oh, they don't even need the counter because of all the buffs from the wedding festivity. GG opponent. Let's go ahead and cycle this out. Sphinx of the Clear Sky. Yeah, hey, good game. Did I drop the GGs already? Or did I just say it? Either way, we had 3 mana open, so the opponent was probably thinking maybe we had removal since we were sticking around. But then also they could have a counterspell in hand too, so. Those farewells are brutal, guys. Let's go ahead and get into the next one here. This is a pretty fun deck. I've always had fun with Domain, though. We've tried Domain aggro, we've tried Domain mid-range, we've tried Domain control. I kind of like all of them. There's something really cool about trying to get just like all 5 of the colors onto the table. I don't know, it's just a good time. And I don't know if we got unlucky that game. I don't think so, honestly. Even when we saw the 3 land in a row, like we still had pretty decent draws, and they were drawing way more than us. Opponent goes first. Good removal. Decent land. Yeah, we'll try it. Can actually... So this Courtyard needs to grab us red or green. Got the Behemoth. More blue. Oh no. Oh, it looks like mono blue too, from what we're seeing. All right, let's grab green with the Overlook, and then red with the Courtyard. I think that'll be fine. Yeah, having the 26 land in here seems pretty essential, especially when you're thinning out with all these cards. Whoa, Dream Shacklegeist. A different version of mono blue? That's pretty exciting. That's awesome, opponent. Okay, we drew a forest. Uh-oh. So, just need a red source on this board to have Leyline Binding cost 1. We only have the 1 plains for the laydown, but like we could draw another plains and do... No, never mind. I don't like that. We should probably Leyline on our turn, but we have Fateful Absence too. I think I like the Fateful Absence more here. Leyline hits anything, guys. And so, if we have the open mana and a way through to actually hit their creature... Mistress Foundry. I love this, man. Hey, nice, the Hermit. Opponent, thank you so much for just not playing like your normal basic blue. You know what I mean, guys? Like, they're rocking Hermit, they're rocking Dream Shackle, which are a couple awesome cards. Yeah, not a lot of plains here. Let's just keep Leyline Binding open. For the turn, let's get the blue source, the second blue source down. And the next turn, if we can successfully get Sphinx onto the board, or even just the Behemoth would be awesome. To my surprise, yeah, there are so many ways to grab planes that I'm pretty sure Lay Down Arms is still a great early game removal to hit the 1, 2, and 3 drops. But right now we're not seeing it, unfortunately. But we can always like discard it to Fable or Bitter Reunion when we see those as well. I'm gonna take the 2. Down to 20. Save the Leyline Binding for something a little bit better. Like a Surge Engine. They drop a 3rd blue source. Let's attempt the Leyline Binding on the Surge Engine. Even though they haven't spent mana on it yet, I think they might counter this, which means we might be in the clear to play our creature next turn, which could be really good. Yeah, only having the 1 planes is a little awkward for lay down arms, but we have the 3 for the Hermit too. I mean, we'll pay the 3 to hit the Surge, but that might mean they have a Make Disappear then? I don't know, that's a lot of extra things. And they probably want to keep the Make Disappear open. Could be a Fading Hope. Yep, so we might be in the clear to actually play some of our creatures. Depopulate, not bad, not bad. Let's go ahead and get the Swamp down. Get the Sphinx down because Behemoth can't grab a land from the grave this turn. So the plan here then is to like play Courtyard from the grave and then grab our planes so that way Lay Down Arms can actually hit one of their creatures. They can't Fading Hope that yet because it has Ward too, so they'd have to do that next turn at least. I don't know, man. Yeah, it's just a good time trying to get all 5 colors onto the board. Do you guys know what I mean? Like, I gotta go back and try some more Joda builds too. I know the new set has some pretty cool legendaries, so I'm gonna be looking into Joda when the new set releases for sure. Getting their creatures on the board, and this one can block pretty well. We're gonna stick to the plan. We're gonna get, well, we could swing first too. All right, let's swing. I'm pretty sure they block. I'm pretty sure they block. No, they take the 5. Oh, buddy. What will we find? What will we find? I like it to be a surprise. Like, we could look at the revealed cards right now, but I like the surprise a little bit. Interesting games, guys. A little bit off-meta decks from the opponents today, which is completely fine. We're playing an off-meta deck for sure. Opponent? It's probably a tough decision. I feel like, oh, they don't know we have a Behemoth in hand already. But also, if we send all these lands to the grave, probably don't want us to have Briefcase. Man, what do I want here, actually? I might actually take that second Behemoth. No, I like having the Briefcase. The Briefcase is too good to pass up. And we don't have, like, the second green source on board yet, so they know we couldn't unearth this, too. Either way, it's gonna be Behemoth here. And then we're gonna play the Courtyard from the grave. Get a Plains. That's good, because we're thinning out the deck. And then we do have all 4 herd migrations in the deck still. Hopefully we can land one of those and maybe get that last game victory with a herd migration. That sounds really cool. Let's get rid of the forest. No, I'll keep the second forest. Just let's get rid of the plains. I don't mind, like, what's the difference though? There isn't a difference. Let's get rid of a courtyard just in case we need a couple untapped sources in a row or something. Yeah, when we can play the lands back from the grave, then we know it's going to be one of the lands we send. I guess it doesn't make too much of a difference which one at this point. Invoke the winds, guys. This is the second time this has happened where the opponent just takes an amazing thing from us. Well, now the Depopulate has to happen. Oh man, Invoke the Winds is such a cool addition to these mono blue builds. That's the second time that's happened to us recently. So let's go grab a green source, just play the Riveteers Overlook. We have that forest in hand too, but Fable can eventually discard some of these as well. Oh, we don't have any more forests. That's right, we only have 2. Well, good thing we had a mountain. That could have been bad. They might take the 2 here from a swing too, by the way. Like, they might take this thinking we have like a lightning strike or something. Yeah, they take the 2, and then we drop the Depopulate. We'll have 2 open. We have to use both of our white sources here. And we can play our Courier's Briefcase then. Whoop, where am I? Briefcase comes down. We are just, our hand is stacked, guys. Holy cow. We're about to draw 3 off Briefcase too if we need it, if we're searching for our win conditions. Power up Foundry. Yeah, you're gonna get that swing through. We're gonna keep our 1/1 though. No blocks. Hermit. Okay, and they still have 2 mana open. They haven't had any counter spells, guys. Ah, man, props to the opponent's deck. I really like it. I love that they might not actually be rocking counter spells too. Ah, GG opponent, GG. Yeah, I mean, we had so many cards in hand. I completely understand the concede there. It was looking good. They didn't know we had 4 lands here, though. They did know we had the 2. We could bring back Behemoth and play more lands from the grave as well, which is kind of insane because you get to keep so many cards in hand then too that you can just get rid of to actually find good stuff then. That's really cool, guys. Behemoth totally worked out in here, and I'm pretty satisfied. Briefcase could have drawn us 3. We were just looking for our win conditions at this point and a way to get our Sphinx back onto the board. Invoke wins, guys. We're going to have to try out a build with this at some point. I apologize if you heard my stomach growl there. It is time for some lunch, I suppose. Okay, let's go over the deck one more time. Like I said, there's like a D in the name here. That's just a reminder that the suggestion was from Discord, so I can actually get rid of that now. Okay, yeah, hey, thanks again for that suggestion, by the way. This was just a ton of fun, wasn't it? I like the 2 behemoths, like, a lot, actually. I really like this addition, and if we did see some aggro today, then I do think Behemoth could have been pretty good against it. Blocks really well, huh? Being able to play those lands from the grave seems insane. The life gain from the hideout, the courtyard, the overlook is kind of awesome, isn't it? Like, and then we have life gain on the herd migration, too. Just a ton of removal, guys. And yeah, binding was like 1 mana most of the time, huh? And then 2 mana most of the time. Briefcase was awesome. Everything was awesome. Seeing the Depopulates a lot was fine. It would have been better, again, if we saw more aggro today. If you're seeing less aggro than what I'm usually seeing, then you could probably go down to 3 Depopulates, or even 2, depending on what you are seeing, right? And then go up something else, right? Something more aggressive, more ways to win. A couple Green Widows. I think having 4 of these would be completely fine. Or like going down to Depopulate, going up a 3rd Green Widow. It really depends what you're seeing, honestly. Yeah, overall the mana base was completely a-okay. In that last one, it was a little weird not seeing, like, all of these triomes, all of them count as planes. And then we have 4 planes here, and then Courtyard can grab planes, Brokers Hideout can grab planes. It's kind of why, and then of course herd migration too. It's kind of why like Lay Down Arms was the decision as our early removal. But if you're kind of sketched out by having Lay Down Arms in a 5-color deck, then you could go up more just normal removal. A couple Destroy Evils could be really good, actually. Just have some enchantment removal in here. Yeah, Destroy Evil is definitely one to consider if you don't like the Lay Down Arms. A 4th Fateful Absence and a couple Destroy Evils would work. Guys, if you made it this far into the video, then y'all are champions for real. I super duper appreciate you. I hope you had as much fun today as I had. We gotta like keep playing with Sphinx of Clear Skies too. Just like Domain in general, we gotta revisit because I just have so much fun with it. Yeah, anyways, hey, thanks again, and I will see you in the next video.